Hello everyone, Kingsley back again. This week I'm going to give you a short video, but just something that's really important in getting ready to go running. Usually at this moment I'm running out in the gym, so I tend to go in and I'll do 5k in the gym and then do some weights and stuff. But this is what I do, particularly if I go out on the hills. I have a little sort of ritual that I do each time in warming myself up. Some of the things, particularly as you get older, is you have to vary what you do. As a young person, it's not quite so important. So one of the things that I'm working on is the core. I've got to work on my core and I've got to work on my glutes. One of the problems I have is down here in my glutes and in my hamstrings. And so this is the first exercise that I do. I have a bench, and I don't do it the proper, I don't put my feet over the front of it, but I'll go back the full length of the bench and I'll do 40 of these. I hope I've given myself enough room here, I don't want to bang my head in the radiator. So I'll do 40 of these. So I go back and I'm feeling it in the stomach, okay? So I'll go 1, 2. Do one extra just in case. So that's 40. So what that does is it grabs your stomach. So I'm working on the core, because the core is controls your whole body. Everything goes through that and goes through your hips. So that's the first exercise, and I would do that before I go to the gym, because we don't actually have great equipment in our gym for working the core. And I used to do the plank. Some people love doing that, but it just doesn't suit me. But this one does. I got this in Lidl, I think. But I do these 40 sit-ups before I go out and run or before I go to the gym. That's the first one. Then the second exercise that I do will be press-ups. Now, if I'm going to the gym, I won't do these, because I do a lot of work on my upper part when I'm in the gym. But if I'm going out in the hills, I do 30 of these. So I would always do 30 of them. And that's about as much as I can do. All right, get the camera again. And that really takes it out of me. But that gives me some upper strength, which I need to work on. But also I'm working my core. So it's important I do that. And especially when I'm going to run, I've found that I've got to vary it more than I used to, simply because of some of the issues that I have. Then the third exercise that we'll do, and consider here, this is a particular problem to me and to some people that I meet as I travel, is I have a problem with their glutes. Now, this has been years of abuse, really, in that I travel, I fly internationally most of the time. I span thousands upon thousands of miles. I travel each year, and so I spend ages sitting in airplanes, as I did before the lockdown. And so sitting in one place. And one of the things that I do, that I'm sure you do as well, is first thing I do, you won't see it exactly, but I'm over on my seat. When I sit down, the first thing I do is this. Always. That's very bad. That's the first thing that I do when I sit down. I cross my legs. I'm already knocking my whole body out of line, and I do it automatically every time. I have to concentrate not to do it. But I have problems with my glutes, and in here, glutes maximus and whatever the other one's called. But these issues, and everything goes through there. Sometimes it's worked itself out with me with sciatica, problems down my legs and with my hamstrings. And so here's two exercises that I do. So I've done my sit-ups, I've done my press-ups, and then this is one I do all the time. And I recommend, I've shown some older people to do this. I don't know if it'll come out on the camera, the angle might be a bit strange, but I've got my right leg here in like an L, and the other one mirrors it. So I've got two L's here. All right, so I've got this in front of me, and then I push, so this will get the glutes. So I'm pushing down here, right down, and I'll hold that for 20 seconds, and I can feel that in my glutes. No, I didn't hold that for 20 seconds, but I'm trying to show you what I do. This is something. Then I'll turn it and do it the other side. So the other way, if I'm still in the camera here, exactly the same. You're down, you've got my left leg now is in a perfect L, my right leg mirroring it behind. Now I'm going to bend the other way, and I'll feel this right in my glutes. So I'm pulling down here for 20 seconds, and I can feel that. I feel the soreness of that. So I'll hold that for 20 seconds. And this is a gentle way, really, to start off working my glutes. So that will be for 20 seconds. I'll do that. I'll hold that. And I do this. I have to do this before I run. Then the fourth exercise that I do every time is the similar exercise to that one. And there's different ways of doing that. I don't know how to get this so you can see it perfectly on the camera. But I get I'll move around this way. So this is my right leg. I put it on on my left leg. This is going to work right into my the other side, the glutes. But watch what I do here. Now, what some people do is they then put their hands underneath there and pull it. What you're doing basically is you're pulling your leg round this way. Now, I don't do it with my hands in there because I find that awkward. But what I do is I put my hand underneath my shoe, and my elbow is in my right. If you can see it there, it's actually my elbow is in my right knee. Now, I pull this. So I'm actually pulling it towards me. It's the same as doing that, but I'm pulling it towards me. And I hold that for 20 seconds. Now that hurts, because I have such problems in my glutes. That hurt. That will really stretch it and pull it for me. So I hold that for 20 seconds. I do this before I run every time. If I haven't done it before I get to the gym, I lie down on the treadmill and I actually do it on the treadmill. That's how important this is for me. So I do it that first one. Now I have more problems with my other leg, so I do it the other way. And again, the same thing. Pulling this toward. Sometimes it cracks. I pull that towards me and hold it for 20 seconds. Now this one is sore because I have more problems in here than I have, and this is essential for me because I have real issues with my hips. So this pulls it out. This is the fourth exercise I always do before I go, or if I don't do it before I go to the gym, I do it on the treadmill when I get there. But this has helped me. This has saved my life. Very important. Then the fifth exercise that I do is I carry a ball with me. Now this is actually, I got this in Walmart. It used to be a tennis ball. This didn't used to be a tennis ball, but I used to have a tennis ball that I carried with me. I found that in Guatemala airport they took it off me, but thought it was dangerous for some reason. But I have this. It's a ball that's hard, quite hard on the outside with little bevels on it. So it's a proper massage ball, but you could use a tennis ball, any kind of ball really small enough. And what I'm doing with this is I'm working right into the sore parts. If you've ever had a massage, you know, a massage, lady or gentleman. I've had a few sports massagers, nearly killed once in Pakistan with one. But what they do is they'll find the bits on your back or the bits where they need to knead on your muscles just to loose it. And my hips get really sore in here in the glutes. And so what I do is I carry this with me. I carry it I've got one in the car that I can sit on the car. I have one with me when I go on a plane, and I take it with me and I carry it with me. When I go to America, and I take one with me for the car. Wherever I go, I try to carry one of these. I usually have one in my backpack when I'm traveling. So I take this and put it underneath each of my hips. Now listen, this basically what I'm trying to do here. I'm holding my weight. My arms are holding my weight. If I told you to go and sit in this, you will shout for agony. So I'm holding my weight all of my time on my arms, but I'm lowering it and I'm moving it around till I find the pin. People say the sweet spot. It's not the sweet spot, it's the bitter spot. There we go. Now that's really sore. But what I need to do is break that down and let the body send its blood cells there and bring healing, because that's really bad. So I'm moving back and forward on that sore spot, and this ball. My full weight isn't on it. I would cry if my full weight was on it, but a lot of my weight is. I'm lowering myself with my arms onto this, and this is breaking down all that build-up of tension in my hip. And that has to be done if I'm going to see release in this. So I do that, not for very long. Sometimes I do it before I sleep at night, but certainly before I run. And I do it on that side, then do the same. I'll try and turn around this way to see if you can see it. Do the same on the other side. So I'm under. You see that? You can just about see that. Now I'm moving around to try and find a sweet spot, and there it is. And that's sore. Now if you've never done this before, give it a go. It sounds great fun, doesn't it? But I'm telling you, this is where I need to break this down as an older runner, because I get so stiff. And a lot of my lifestyle makes me stiff because I spend a lot of time in meetings, spend a lot of time traveling, a lot of time driving, and so I do this, and that breaks it down, and that's agony, but I love that. What it does is it breaks it up. So those are 5 exercises that I will do before I run every time. Not always the push-ups, because when I go down to the gym, I will use a lot of those lifting up machines, so I get that exercise. But I will always do the sit-ups, and I will always do those stretches for my hips and for my glutes because that's where I have an issue. And I'm finding as I travel, when I mention this to people, a lot of people have problems with their hips as you get older. So try this, and I'm sure that it will really help you. So I hope you've enjoyed it today. If you like my channel, please subscribe. I'll put different things on each week. I usually put it up on a Tuesday night, and I'm trying to get people to switch off their TV and just get out there and do something else. And remember, you're not old yet.